Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with actual Ginger, actual redhead, Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
I can vouch she is actually Ginger.
How?
Because your hair's red.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting right next to you, and I can see your red hair from here.
Yeah, I know what you were meaning when you were being sarcastic. Anyway.
We're going to talk about another Ginger comic book character, getting swapped out for a non-Ginger comic book character. This has been going on for a while now, and some people say, hey, this is not a problem. We're not targeting redheads specifically, but if you look at the evidence, very few actual redheaded comic book characters, within the last couple of years have actually made it to the big screen intact.
See, that's the thing. I don't really care if they hire another actor or actress to play a redhead character. Just give them the red hair. At least you have some. I mean, I prefer it if you give other redhead actors a chance, because it seems like when you have a redhead character, why you cannot give a redhead actor and actress a chance is beyond me, unless you're genderphobic, which is a thing, by the way. But I mean, at least dye their hair red, and we keep seeing that. They had the girl switch out for Annie, didn't give her red hair. No. We've had different characters. Iris West doesn't have red hair. I bet you money they don't give this woman red hair, even though the character's Red Sonja.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I'm like, just dye your hair.
Red Sonja isn't red anymore.
Because I love these people like, you're just mad because you're trying to say because you're not white, and it's like, you do know that redheads come in other races besides white, right? You know that, right?
You can, yes.
It's predominantly fair skin.
Yeah.
But there are people that have red hair that aren't white. It does happen.
Sometimes there's an intermingling of DNAs.
Yeah, imagine that. So I'm just like, I just think it's funny because their automatic take is if you said stop taking characters and taking the red hair away, that's because you're against, but it does seem like that they seem to race swap them. The race swapping goes with it.
We'll talk about it. We've talked about this before when it comes to Little Mermaid. We've talked about it when it comes to other comic book characters. This is another example. And everybody keeps saying, look, this isn't a thing. We're not actually taking all the gingers away. But then you've got articles like this on the Mary Sue that's laughing every time a ginger character gets.
If you had five redhead roles to swap from Zendaya or to snatch from Zendaya, or five black roles that you should give to redheads. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna call it like it is.
Yeah,
spade.
You can't reverse that. So we'll talk about that. The list, people are keeping lists of the many redheaded comic book characters that are no longer red. We'll talk about that. And then we'll talk a little bit, I guess as we're going down that rabbit hole, talk about the Superman announcement. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video. And it's obvious the Snyderverse is over at this point. Very obvious.
Yeah.
So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 187,000 subs. Thank you for the support. And yeah, we do talk about comics. We talk about movies, talk about animation, whatever interests us. We talk a lot about gingers and ginger side.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand what we ever did. I mean, like, when I was a kid growing up, I got picked on so bad for my red hair. All the time. Like, I was constantly picked on for it. And then I got to be older and I actually started liking my hair. When I was a kid, I wanted anything to be anything but red hair. And when I got older, I liked it. And now I'm not allowed to like my red hair as an adult either because, apparently that's a bad thing.
So here is the report from Variety that the villain, or I guess sympathetic villain, Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, Hannah John Kamen, is that her name? She's going to be Red Sonja. Now this is interesting. Hannah's very talented. We've been following her for years, and she is Red Sonja. So always in the statement, her range, her sensibilities, and strength are all qualities we've been looking for, and we couldn't be more excited.
No, I actually don't mind her. I've seen her other, and I liked her in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, I thought she was okay.
She was in Ready Player One and stuff. I think that was her. I don't mind her. I have no problem with the actress.
Yeah, and she did a lot of action in Ready Player One, if I remember correctly.
And the thing is, I think that she could pull off red hair quite well. I mean, she has lighter color eyes. I think she could pull it off. I think she would look amazing. That I don't have a problem with. What I have a problem with is they better give her red hair instead of these characters. I think a lot of redheads, we prefer that they'd actually, have characters, actual redheads play the characters. Because, you're supposed to stay in your own lane for everything else. Yeah. But you don't have to for redheads for whatever damn reason. But, like for me, I don't mind it so much if personally, and I can't speak for everyone, I don't mind it so much as long as they go the extra mile to make sure the character stays a ginger. So at least we still have some representation. And I don't care. I mean, if you want to make her this actress, that's fine with me. Just can you dye her hair red? I don't think that's asking too much.
I just read the next paragraph.
Oh no,
okay, so they're like, okay, this is great. We can't wait to do Red Sonja. We think she's a good fit. Okay, cool.
Is it going to be making fun of her costume? Because
yes!
That's what they're going to take away next.
That's what's next. Created in the early 70s by Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith, phenomenal artist Barry Windsor Smith for Marvel's Conan the Barbarian series, Red Sonja quickly became popular enough for her own spin-off. That's certainly due in part to the character's formidable fighting skills and forthright personality, and also because she was typically clad in a chainmail bikini that seemed less about providing protection for the character than titillation for the largely heterosexual male readership.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if I'm being blunt, as a woman, it's not going to do much to protect you. And I always kind of felt those like weird bikini things were kind of dumb. However, that was the aesthetic of the time. People liked it. I honestly have no problem with it, but I can pretty much guarantee you that is not going to be the costume she's going to be in the movie.
Oh my God, she's gonna be wearing a chainmail muumuu.
You're gonna fall out of that. Okay, if we're being honest for a moment, even Carrie Fisher talked about it with her Princess Leia Jedi costume. Your boobs are gonna fall right out of that top. I mean, of course, a lot of guys, and there's lots of women out there that think that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, that it's not, your boobs are going to fall right out of that top.
Oh, you know what they're going to do to her? I know, because that's like, she was the iconic, I mean, she kind of created the iconic fantasy female trope, archetype, whatever, of the 70s and 80s that we saw a lot of, Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. What they're going to do, because this whole discussion has come up, they're going to put her in like chainmail boob armor without boobs, and they're gonna cover her up.
She has boobs.
Well, that's in the comics. No, they're gonna.
No, I mean this girl has boobs.
I know she has boobs, but they're gonna cover them up because boobs are bad.
Oh, I don't know what they're gonna do, but totally I know one thing: if she doesn't have the red hair and they go too far with the costume, people aren't gonna go see the movie. I'm just gonna call it now.
Look, Red Sonja, feisty temper, kick-ass warrior woman, tits and red hair. That was her. That's, you take that away and all of it.
Oh, she sounds just like me. Just kidding.
We need to get you a sword. I'd be afraid.
I don't have the outfit. I'm sorry. No. I would not look very good in that outfit.
I think you'd look pretty good.
Well, you're biased. But, yeah, I don't think they're going to get the outfit. Maybe, I don't see how they can not go with the red hair, though.
You wait.
I think it's like another Starfire situation where you have to kind of do it.
Yeah. Now I will admit, and we're going to talk about some of the race bent redheads that we've gotten lately. Starfire, they did improve her costume considerably.
Yeah, most of my problem with her was her costume.
The newer version. Now I haven't been watching Titans. We were watching Doom Patrol for a while, but the original Starfire costume, she looked like a hooker. It was horrible, but they changed her costume and she actually looked more like the comic book version.
Right, which made more sense.
And the
thing is, just because they keep changing redheads, people keep saying, well, he means race swapping. Not always. They're not always race swap, which I've noticed that before.
Yeah, they just have a real problem with gingers for whatever reason.
Gingers. And
it's like they're singled out. And it's so funny because it's gotten so bad that even Reddit, less than a year ago, why did ginger characters have their races change so much? They're like, what? Because gingers are the minorities of white people.
Very much. We're minorities in general. I mean, we're not like, it's not a race thing. It's more like numbers wise.
It's strange how this is almost exclusively happening to ginger characters across the board. This person says it's really not. You notice it more when it happens to gingers because how few of them there are.
Right, but there's a hell of a lot more blondes and brunettes out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of ginger. Well, okay, this is actually okay. So this is kind of true. There are a lot of characters with red hair in comics because a lot of them were created when you need the characters to stand out. So it was like they either had black hair or ginger hair or blonde hair, and that was basically it. And a lot of times they'd use the red hair to draw attention to a character for whatever reason.
That's not untrue.
That's not untrue. But when it becomes...
But not all these characters are comic characters either.
But when it's part of the character's name, when it's literally part of the character's name, Red Sonja, fiery, feisty, ginger, temper, sword mistress in the chainmail bikini. That is who she is, and I guarantee you she's not going to be in the movie. They're going to be very politically correct with it.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, but they better give her the red hair. I mean, that's all I said. They better give her the red hair. I'm just tired of. I love how representation matters. It's like these little girls want to see themselves up on the screen, and I've actually supported that a lot of times. But except for redheads, fuck those little girls. Sorry, Mom. I'm sure there's another joke in there, and don't even go there, people.
The sun will come
No, even she don't have to sing about tomorrow.
There's no tomorrow for you, Annie. I
do not feel bad about Annie because I had a hate relationship with Annie for reasons, but
the
Annie
reboot. We're going down a rabbit hole here. The biggest problem with that is it doesn't work in a modern. I get what they're trying to do, but like it doesn't work today. It just doesn't work today.
I'm just like, would you stop and then plus on the other side, I have to look at it from the other side, the other point of view. How frustrating is it that you constantly get hand-me-down characters?
Well, we'll talk about that in regards to Superman. We're not going to do a whole video on the Superman thing. I'm sure that's going to be beaten to death. But it is interesting because there are a lot of black folks out there who are like, there are so many good black superheroes in comics that could get their own movies. We're talking like, what's up with Milestone, all these other characters, and they're not getting. Instead, we're going to take, and they even have a black Superman, but they're using Kal-El. They're using Clark Kent.
I mean, I can't. I mean, that's insulting, and that's what gets me. Like, they keep doing this for gingers, but they keep race swapping them too, and then not even giving them the red hair, and then they're like, you're getting like hand me downs, and you're just changing them to say that it's representation, but it truly isn't. It's just taking from one group and giving it to others. So why don't you just make new things,
Well, Michael B. Jordan actually said that, which is really interesting. We'll talk about that in regards to Superman. But this list is from Bounding in the Comics. They have they've been keeping track of a lot of redheaded comic book characters that have been swapped. Cyclone.
Oh my God. I'm like, notice they're not even giving them red hair. Like, redheads would probably not get so mad if they actually just gave them the red hair to go with it, but they keep not even giving them the red hair. So it's even doubly insulting. Like, I don't care if you make somebody a different race so much, because like I said, redheads come in other races too. I just would like to have the red hair kept, so at least you have somewhat of representation, and they keep taking that away. If they kept the hair red, okay. I would be a lot more okay with it. I wouldn't be as upset as I am when you keep just doing this, because it's like, I just feel like there's something wrong with me that everybody hates me for some reason.
We need to start a 90s style superhero comic book and call it Ginger Side, and have like 8 ginger characters like locked and loaded, ready to go. Ginger Side.
There you go.
Okay, so Hawk Girl.
No red hair.
No red hair. Iris West. You talked about that. Let's see who else we got here. Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, Jimmy Olsen got hair. De-gingerfied.
Also race swapped.
Wally West
was race swapped. No red hair.
Starfire. Now
she's orange. I don't like, I always thought, she leaned more towards like a darker skin tone anyway. Yeah. But she doesn't have red hair there. I thought she had red hair earlier.
She does when she gets all fired up.
That makes sense.
I've seen her, when she turns orange, I guess, when she powers up.
That makes more sense. And that costume is considerabally better than what they gave her.
Oh God, yeah. She looked like a hooker.
She did look like a hooker. And people said that it was because they were against, they were mad about, they were racist and against. It's like, no, her outfit looked terrible.
Yeah, it did. This is definitely an improvement. Batwoman.
Well, to be fair, she only had the red hair with the cowl anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is this isn't even the same. This isn't even the same character. I mean, I understand.
No, that one that one's pushed.
I can't really say too much.
He slapped my butt. Anyway, sorry.
Now, April, that
one you can argue about.
This is complicated because April O'Neil, even though she was best known as a ginger in the cartoon and the comic book, she actually had black hair. So actually, the Megan Fox version of April O'Neil was closer to comic book April O'Neil.
I just feel like they like the one from the first movie the best. And
Judith Hogue, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why, because she had reddish hair. That one, that one's, you can argue either way on that one.
Yeah. Electro. Yeah, I didn't realize Electro. I forgot he was ginger.
Once again, race swapped.
Yep, that happens. Jim Gordon in the Batman movie. Man, there's
if you're going to race swap people, just give them the damn red hair. How hard is it?
Heimdall. Let's see here.
Why can't you occasionally give him red hair? Well, we already know all about Bo.
Ariel.
I'm still holding out hope they give her red hair.
They won't. No, I don't know. They might. Now this was really interesting. Josie and the Pussycats. Okay, only 3 girls in the band. One of the girls is already black, but we made Josie black too.
With no red hair.
No red hair. So now, it's just kind of, it was
so
basically,
if you're a redhead and you're a sassy redhead, it automatically makes you a black woman. Or black
pretty
man.
much, yeah, I guess.
And that's kind of insulting to everyone involved. I mean, because I don't want people to say, oh, you're like racially appropriating things. And I don't think they want to be like, you're giving me a hand-me-down character that you took the red hair away. It's just.
This is just kind of the trend. It's like, oh, we need to be more diverse. Quick, just race swap characters. Let's not create
especially
new
redheads.
characters. Ripcord, yeah, Ripcord was.
That's more blonde to me, but okay.
I had the toy. I had the action figure. He actually had red hair. Yeah, Ripcord was
red hair.
Literally one of the lamest G.I. Joe characters. Like, of all the characters in G.I. Joe, and there are a lot of black dudes in G.I. Joe, you could have picked a much cooler character for him to play. Instead, you get freaking Ripcord, who was lame. He was a D-list Joe.
I know, but they kept Scarlet, so there's that.
They did keep Scarlet. For now. I was actually surprised that they were casting. Well, wait, does she have red hair? I don't think she has red hair.
Does she?
Well, I'm sure they have to give her red hair.
I thought she had red hair. I can't remember.
I don't know.
So much I care.
Thompson.
Race swapped again.
Well, the gender swapping happens too.
Yeah. Well, she technically is not the same MJ, so that argument isn't really legit.
I think what happened with this, because I remember, and this was a controversy. I remember they had a show Bible. It wasn't really a show Bible, but like a brand Bible from Disney that said, "This is who Peter Parker is. This is who Mary Jane is. This is what the characters are like." And they do this for all their characters. Disney, well, historically did it. They probably wouldn't do it now, but they did it then. And to get around having to make Mary Jane the redhead model, they're like, oh, we have another MJ, but she's a totally different character.
Yeah, so she isn't actually the same MJ.
No.
So,
Lana Lang. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. A couple times, yeah.
I don't think, has she ever been Ginger?
I don't know. In the comics.
And then I'm trying to think, I watched Superman and Lois, and I can't even think if she was Ginger in Superman and Lois off the top of my head. Alicia Masters, that's true. Yeah. Oh my God. There's actually more people than more characters than I realized. Who else do we got here? Annie, of course. You mentioned Annie. Mm-hmm. It just goes on and on and on and on. And it does seem like Gingers are being...
It's most often race swapped as well as just taking red hair away, which, like I said, I don't really, it doesn't bother me as much if it's not somebody, that might have a little darker skin than me. I'm just like, can you just at least keep the red hair? I mean, at least.
But they don't. 9 times out of 10, they don't.
They don't. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, then you want to meet in the middle, just keep the red hair. And I don't think that's too much to ask. And, and then people make comments, oh, you're not being erased because they can just dye hair. But they don't. That's the point.
Yeah.
They don't.
It's almost, a given at this point. Oh, there's a Ginger comic book character. When they do a live action version, we know that's not going to stay the same. Mm-hmm. Even Tumblr, though, I was surprised. They were even like, race swapping's bad. Turning a black person white is bad. Turning a white person black is equally bad. Also, redhead censoring. And it actually got quite a... Yeah, look at this. It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So to have people out there, and I've heard this excuse many times, that there isn't like an anti-ginger agenda when...
Gingerphobia is actually a thing. Look it up.
And I think it's almost become a game with Hollywood at this point. Like, oh, we got a ginger character. Can't have that.
Well, wait, since gingerphobia is a really thing and you could actually say someone's a gingerphobe, does that mean I get an extra checkbox?
I don't know.
Does that give me more privilege points because, I'm ginger and technically not wanting to see gingers, not wanting gingers around, there is actually a real thing.
Yeah, because you steal souls.
That's right. That's why they're afraid of me. I just love it because it sucks because for centuries, gingers have been treated so shitty. Just like other people have been treated shitty. That's kind of a part of the reason I always have a little more empathy for people. People think I don't, but I really do. But it makes me so mad then that because, we are ginger, so it's okay if we do it to you. And I'm just tired of it. And
you don't have a soul. You can't feel a damn thing.
I think a lot of gingers feel that way. Yeah, I know. And it's just frustrating. I'm sure, I said, the same thing can be said for a lot of people who probably are like, why don't he get hand-me-downs?
Yeah. Yeah.
So speaking of hand-me-downs.
So we'll talk about this. This was announced, today's the Superman, it was trending. Yeah, so they're gonna do
on Henry Cavill's birthday, by the way.
On Henry Cavill's birthday, yes, on Henry
Happy
Cavill's
birthday, Henry Cavill. Even though I doubt you ever listen to me, but happy birthday to you.
On Henry,
I can't say happy birthday to you when it was your birthday because you don't want me to tell people when your birthdays
I don't.
are. So.
But Henry Cavill's birthday is public knowledge. So this is interesting. This is pretty much the death knell for the Snyderverse at this point because, you know, apparently Henry Cavill's out and unnamed actor is stepping into the role of Superman. The only thing we know is it's going to be a black person with a black director. People thought it was going to be Michael B. Jordan, but he has actually said things that make me wonder if he's even like, nah.
He says he's a comics fan, and he's like, why, when we have black Superman type characters already, do we have to? He brought up Calvin Ellis.
Yeah,
and he's like, when we have Calvin Ellis, why do we have to make Kal-El? Clark Kent, why do we have to make him black?
Yeah, I know. So because he had this interview with Oprah, and it was interesting because everybody was talking. He's going to be the black Superman and all that, and she just kept kind of pushing, like, "Don't you want to be?" He's like,
Superman in your skin, and it's like
he's like, there is one, and I'd rather. He actually said, "I'd rather that we make new stuff."
Yeah, because it's insulting. It's like, you know what? We need to have characters that aren't white, but we don't believe that you could actually have your own characters that carry their own movies. You have to have a pre-existing character that we hand down to you. I mean, it's really insulting when you think about it. I don't blame him. I would be like, I agree with him. I'd be mad too.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, here's a perfect opportunity too. Like they could actually, because now that we've established, with Crisis on Infinite Earths, that we've got multiple DC universes, and they're talking about rebooting it anyway with Flashpoint or whatever they're going to do with the Flash movie. Very simply, you just start an alternate timeline Superman franchise over there.
Right, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Still Superman.
And then you know what? You can cross over Michael B. Jordan Superman with Henry Cavill Superman. Everybody
or whoever gets to be named.
Right. And but no, we gotta go reboot everything. And
I just found it funny because wasn't this really J.J. Abrams who was doing this movie?
Well, yeah. So here's the thing. He's not allowed to direct it. And the writer is Ta-Nehisi Coates, who is a controversial writer, has a lot of hot takes, was a political commentator.
Likes to drum up the visionary drums.
Yeah, that's how we're going to say it. Yeah. So we know exactly what this movie's going to be, but it's interesting because you'd think that they would be like, hey, Michael B. Jordan is coming, he's even like, nah, I'm not real sure I want to do that.
He says he's a comics fan, and he's kind of like,
it's not going to go. He even said it's not going to go well.
And he's like, I think he was. It's like, why do I want the hand-me-downs? And there's already a character that's not well known. You could take that character and make that character more well known. Why would you not? Because that makes sense. Well, but even the bigger issue above this is Warner Brothers is in trouble for supposed racism. And then this comes out. This just sounds to me like, shit, we're in trouble for racism. Instead of addressing the actual problems, let's hurry up and make a black Superman so they can say you're not racist anymore.
Well,
oh my God! I didn't even know!
You're psychic. Look at this. Ray Fisher. Do y'all remember that time Walter Hamada and Warner Brothers Pictures tried to destroy a black man's credibility and publicly delegitimize a very serious investigation with lies in the press? But hey, black Superman.
Well, I did know about this comment. I thought he made another comment today. But yeah, I did remember him saying that. But that's what it seems like. It feels like they're in trouble supposedly for alleged racism issues. And their answer is to, oh, look.
Black Superman.
On Henry Cavill's birthday.
On Henry Cavill's birthday.
What it probably was. Henry Cavill's going to be trending. So let's use that.
Probably. So, I mean, this is just like, this is clearly
you get a middle finger and you get a middle finger. We're giving you both middle fingers equally. It's all good.
This is not going to go the way I think.
By that I meant Warner Brothers.
Right.
Not me saying it to you people.
No, I'm actually, and I've said before, I've actually come around to kind of see Ray Fisher's point of view.
I do. When you see the character was so much different.
Yeah, at first I was kind of like, dude, you're going to burn your career down. Why are you whining so much? And then you see, the Snyder cut and you're like, oh, shit.
Now you understand why he was like signing on for one thing and getting something else.
It's like, holy crap. Now, do I think it's smart to go to war with Warner Brothers? Probably not at this stage in your career, but that's his decision to make. But he's not wrong about this. I mean, I don't think he's wrong about this.
Yeah, but I understand why he wants to call it out. I'm not one to sit down and shut up either. So
well, yeah, and the more people tell you to shut up, the louder you get. So how is that going to go? Because Fisher's got a lot of support. he's got a lot of support, and then Warner Brothers is like, hey, Black Superman.
Look, don't look over there. Look over here. Razzle dazzle. You know?
So I guess what I'm like, who is this movie going to be for? Because you're going to piss off comic book fans by making it Kal-El. And when you've got a Black Superman, you've got a Black Superman.
It's his own character.
It's his own character.
It's not a literal repurposing of a white character. And the extra, middle finger insult is we don't think that Calvin Ellis can carry his own movie. That only the white Superman can. So instead, we're going to take Clark Kent and make him black. That's even doubly insulting.
But he's a president. Just call the movie President Superman.
Yeah, he's literally
I mean, that would be pretty bad. Like President Superman.
I can't even. That would be funny. That would be a really good movie.
I would go see a movie. Superman. I would go see a movie called President Superman.
I mean, I just can't wrap my head around all this stupidity, and that is not going to do well. These things aren't going to do well. You know what they're going to do? They're going to start yelling it's racism. Red Sonja's not going to do well because she's going to be like not have the outfit, not have the red hair. Racism. You misogynist. Yep. You always mad because you wanted to fap to her. I'm like, I love that too. They always use that argument when a lot of women are hot for her too, but they never get told. You just want to flick the bean to whatever. So you're like dying here.
And you flick the bean, and you flick the bean.
I'm just saying. I mean, they keep like wanting to call everybody misogynist, racist, and that's what's going to happen here.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Well, that's okay. I call you gingerphobes. So there you go.
Even though there are a lot of Black people on Twitter calling these same things out, like you've got all these characters that you could be bringing to the big screen, and instead you're just swapping out because it's marketable. They're gonna be like, well, it's Superman, it's marketable, and everybody knows Clark Kent.
At least with Sam, it's not. They're not saying, oh look, he's the new Steve Rogers. It's not the same thing. I don't think there.
Steve Rogers goes in one door as a white guy, comes out the other door as a black guy, and nobody flinches. It's just like the Daryls on Bewitched. No, at least, and that made sense too. It made sense the way they did it, and they showed why it happened, and that happened. But I'm like, God, you guys, right freaking here. Like, this is what I thought when they said, because I really didn't think that much of it, because they're like, oh, they're going to do a Black Superman movie. I'm like, oh, that's going to be Calvin Ellis. That's, okay, that's whatever. Then they'll probably do the Justice League movies too, and then maybe they'll cross over.
Like a multiverse.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, no, they're going with Clark Kent. So it's like,
and that's not going to do well. And
good luck with that.
And then instead of it being because maybe it was a really stupid thing to do that, and maybe you actually insulted people who weren't white too, it's going to be because people are racists.
So we're going to have, like you had an opportunity to have a Black Superman who's also president of the United States as a role model. He's Superman and he's the president of the United States of America. Freaking President Superman. I mean, come on.
No, we can't do that. We have to go do Clark Kent again.
Just do Clark Kent again.
Kal-El all over again.
Oh, God. Good luck.
But
good luck with that.
It's just because if you don't like it, it's not because you're personally insulted. You're racist even if you're not white.
I don't know when or if this is going to reach a point where people are like, yeah, this is getting kind of silly. Why don't we just go make some new stuff? Why don't we just go make new stuff?
You would hope. Or at least if you're going to change a character, you're going to swap a character, or even, not keep the character white, keep the red hair. How hard is it? I mean, you're going, oh, it's not happening. You're wrong. And they're making jokes about, that's what hair dye's for. Except you're not dyeing their hair red. You're not. So that's not true. I'm like, how hard is it? Then you get double the representation. Wouldn't that be a win-win?
You would think.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just, I'm tired. I've gotten shit on my whole life because of my red hair. And now Hollywood has to take a steaming shit. But then I guess I'm just one of everybody else because Hollywood likes to take steaming shits on everyone. So I shouldn't feel special anyway.
They're just going to hold you down and they're going to take turns and you get a turd and you get a turd. And
pretty much.
You get a juicy one.
That's what they've been putting out anyway, turd after turd. So
like you said, though, they're going to put these movies out. They're going to be obvious, especially with somebody like Ta-Nehisi Coates writing it. It's going to be what it's going to be, right? And it's going to rub people the wrong way, and they're going to be like, you're just a bunch of racists who can't accept that Clark Kent's black. It's like
He's never been black.
Michael B. Jordan's even like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that.
And, other people that were black were on Twitter were saying that's stupid because it's like if you would do this to any other character that was not that was a black character, you'd be mad about it because that's your representation. That's what they've always been. that's who they are. That's who they've always been. You know, if you like someone said you took Black Panther, did the same thing and made it like somebody that was Asian or white or something,
for Black Panther,
you'd be really pissed. Because that's a symbol. Well, so is Superman. And I mean, he's a symbol for everyone. His race, I mean, I guess really doesn't have nothing to do with it. But the point is, Kal-El has always been represented that way. They actually have another Superman who, arguably being the president of the United States, is kind of cooler and can do the same types of things.
And be the president of the United States.
Yes!
I mean,
that sounds much more marketable to me. But anyway.
Yeah, could you just imagine, like, Mr. President, there's nuclear war. He's like, hold my beer. I'm gonna just literally just knock those nukes right out of the sky.
Yeah, don't mess with America. Boom.
And then we're gonna go do the Easter thing on the White House lawn.
America.
Anyway. My God, yeah. Could you imagine they played that like when he's flying through the America? F yeah. No. Here comes President Superman.
I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around the stupidity about all of this.
God, now I want to see a President Superman movie.
I know. I actually feel gypped about that.
Yeah, like, oh my God, he's the president and he's Superman. He's President Superman.
Anyway, you really need to get off that, but let's go.
Yeah, we're going to wrap this one up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.